it on the social media, and I received some comments, which is actually the main reason for me coming to address another issue this morning. Some people in that lecture, as posted on the social media, were saying, oh, even in Professor Alaro's mosque, or in the mosque that he prays, there were Tesbihs hung on the pulpit of the mosque. That means it's okay, or it's even recommended to have Tesbih, Subha, hung on the pulpit of a mosque. You see, whoever has any form of knowledge, it's mandatory on him, on her, to reveal it to people whenever there is need for it. Otherwise, Allah will punish him or her. Allah says clearly in the Quran al-Kareem, لَتُبَيِّنُنَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ وَلَا تَكْتُمُونَ. It's mandatory. The issue of Subha, I know is controversial in most of our societies. But as much as we try to run away from controversies, we must never fall short of discharging our duties as students of knowledge. And I would like to simplify the matter by just putting a set of questions to you. And everyone, honestly, sincerely, should answer those questions on his or her own. Question number 1. Is it true that, as those who are making that comment, that in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there were Tesbih? I don't know, it is called Tesbih? No. Because that is what is known as in the part of the country that I come from. But in the Arabic, it's usually called Subha. Is it true that in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Subha or Tesbihs were hung on his pulpit? The answer is no, and there is no controversy whatsoever. That's question number 1. We must get things clear. Were there Tesbihs hung as are being hung today on our pulpit? Or even on any part of the mosque of the Prophet ﷺ? The answer again is capital no. Question number 2. Let us answer those questions sincerely and honestly. Did the Prophet even have a tasbih? Talk less of hanging one. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, without any iota of doubt, the answer to that one too is no. My leader, your leader, my role model, your role model, Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had no tasbih throughout his lifetime. That's question number 2. Question number 3 that I'm urging all of us here and elsewhere to answer honestly and sincerely. Who introduced tasbih into our act of worship? Using tasbih, was it a creation of Islam and Muslims? The answer to that question is equally no. Tesbih, Subha, was used hundreds of years before the advent of Islam. One of the sects that is popular up till today of using Tesbih, Subha in their own ways of worshiping God is the Catholic. Up till today. So to create an impression as if Tesbih was brought by Islam is also wrong. Introduction of Tesbih into act of worship was never created by Islam or introduced by Muslims. Muslims saw it being used by other worshippers, by other followers of other faiths. And one way or the other, they felt they can imitate them. But as I said in the beginning, my prophet and your prophet did not have one. His companions, all of them, none of them had a tasbih throughout their lifetime. So I think with these questions, We can look inward and answer them honestly and sincerely. I know it's a controversial issue, but we must say it as we know it, to the best of our knowledge. Now, some people will have an excuse of using Tesbih. Let me address that one too. They'll say, okay, we have agreed. The Prophet never used it. His companions never used it. It was even not known. Let me add that one. It was not known in the first generation of Muslims. Nobody knew Tesbih throughout the time of the companions of the Prophet. Now, the excuse is that I want to make adhkar in thousands. How will I use my fingers to count thousands? You see, it's like someone creating a wrong foundation to build a right structure on it. It will never stand. It will never stand. And let me use in the legal parlance, we usually say you cannot build something on nothing. You can't build something on nothing. Let me also reveal it to you. There is no way the Prophet ﷺ recommended a number that is higher than 100 in any dua, in any adhkar. There was no way, there was never that he recommended for you to say any dua in thousands. People are now saying, I want to say la ilaha illallah in millions. You see, that itself is a wrong basis. Nobody asked you to count any adhkar thousands of times or millions of times. The highest the Prophet mentioned in all of his hadith is 100. And that one, you can easily do that as he did it. The best worshipper ever is the Prophet. He did dua, he did adhkar, he prayed. What was he using? My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that's also very clear, very clear. Throughout his lifetime, he will use his fingers to count whatever adhkar, whatever dua. And if we can adopt that, that is the best for us. And you will reap two important benefits in so doing. Benefit number one, you are imitating your role model as commanded, as ordered by Almighty God. He's the only one that you can place before you to say, whatever he does, I will do it, and I will never get it wrong. No any other human being can claim that, except the Prophet. All of us are prone to errors. The only one that has been guaranteed in Al-Quran al-Kareem, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. So by way of recommendation, let me come to a stop for this address this morning. If I'm to recommend for you, I will surely recommend that the best for you is to do as the Prophet did. He never used any other means of calculating his own dua or adhkar, either after salah or even in some other cases. He always used the fingers of his both hands, or sometimes the fingers of his right hand only. So that is by way of recommendation. I said two benefits. Let me mention the other one. The other benefit is that we all know, we have had a lot of lectures about that, that on the day of resurrection, every part of our body will have an opportunity of bearing witness of what we use them to do. It's a golden opportunity that you are missing if you have not been using your fingers to do adhkar. Because when fingers of those who use them will testify in their favor, your own fingers will say, he never used me. And you will not find Tesbih on that day. Where will you find one? So these are two even important benefits that you can think of when considering whether, but let me reiterate it. If you have an impression as if Islam brought Tesbih, please clear that impression of your mind. It was never the creation of Muslims and was never the creation of Islam.